This is how you make medicated food for your cichlids. It's a treat all. We got 4 ounces of crushed Ken's flakes, really crushed up well. Boil some water in the microwave, really hot, right? Okay, 1/4 cup. And then you're gonna mix in the Knox. Stir it vigorously. It's gonna stink. Don't worry, it's not expired. And the smell goes away after it cures in the refrigerator. So pour that in your hot water. Mix it up really good as you see here. Get all the clumps out. Now we're going to mix in API General Cure, which has 2 medicines in it. And then we're going to do a C-Chem Canaplex and a C-Chem Focus. They're all 1-to-1 ratio. A scoop of medicine for a tablespoon of food. So you got to mix all 3 of those evenly and then take scoops of that mixture of medicine and add to your food. So 4 ounces of food, a tablespoon per scoop. So that's 8. And you see you got to mix this stuff up really well. So that's 8 scoops of medicine. Get all the clumps out of that stuff. It is still hot. Pour this into your food. You're going to mix that up really well. I have a teaspoon of API cichlid mini pellets to give the food a little crunch. They do like to crunch stuff, chew stuff, so they're going to like that. Just a teaspoon. Stir it up really well until it's a paste. Get all the food mixed in. Now, I spilt the medicine when I did this, so exactly what I did here is I used the scooper and I pulled 4 spoons of Focus, 4 spoons of Canaplex, 4 spoons of API, all into a little pouch. Mixed all that together, and then I pulled 8 scoops from that mixture and put it in the food. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, some will say that you have to separate some of the medicine and feed one less than the other, specifically the fenbendazole. You're supposed to feed a lot less than the Metro. But the API, if you look up the ingredients, has a lot less of the fenbendazole than the other medicines. And the Canaplex and the Focus, you can use in combination. It's not going to hurt anything. The Focus is going to help bind it to the food. Here you go. I've already mixed the 3 medicines, and I'm taking the 8 scoops there. And you're going to mix all that into the food. The food is still hot. The mixture of food is still hot from the boiling water. So it's going to take all of that medicine. And even if you're under on medicine or over on medicine, you see how much is in there. It's not very much. They're going to get it in their system. Even if you just put Canaplex in there, without the API and without the Focus, it's still going to mix in well, and they're still going to eat it. And you're going to feed them 2 rounds of this, pretty much exclusively. You can feed them regular food in between if you want. This is the second round for my sick fish. Now I'm scooping all of this into a sandwich Ziploc baggie, and it's still warm. I'm going to flatten it out really thin, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for like 15-20 minutes. the bad smell of the Knox mixing in with the hot water is going to be gone. And you'll see it come out of the fridge here in a minute. With the illnesses, you never really know what it is. Don't jump right in and do a huge water change. You're removing 50% of the good bacteria. Your fish isn't going to get better from that. You're not going to know what is wrong with the fish unless you're an aquatic veterinarian and you take samples of the fish and microscope it and find out exactly what is affecting the fish and treat that specifically. So you have to go by the flow charts that tell you what your fish is doing, what medicine you should treat it, and don't put it in the water, put it in the food. Use flakes, use this gel food because as you see it mixes in the food. You see others sprinkle the medicine over the freeze-dried worms, adding some water, stirring it, and then dumping it into the tank, and the fish eat it. Guaranteed that medicine floats away. You see others do the same kind of method but with hard pellets, and the pellets absorb it, yes, but it's on the outer layer of the pellet. You put it in 78-degree water. You see a little poof cloud. That's the medicine escaping the pellet. They're not going to eat it. This method, it's in the food. So they're going to get it in their digestive system, and it's going to work. Even if you don't put a huge amount, as long as you continuously feed them, that medicine's going to work. Your online forums are always way off. You go on there and describe what your fish is doing. The first thing they ask you is what your water parameters are. I'm sorry, but it's got nothing to do with it. Yeah, you want to keep clean water, sure. But your nitrate's high, your pH off, doesn't tell you anything about what's wrong with your fish. You're not going to know. All those guys are guessing. Go by the flow chart, figure out what medicine to treat, find out how to buy it in a powder, and mix it in your food. Don't do a huge water change. Everyone says, oh, do 50% water change. You need millions of good bacteria to maintain a healthy fish. You do that huge water change, you cut that in half by 50%, the bad bacteria is still affecting the fish. Now you see here, the pellets are mixed in with the gel food. Look how yummy that is. Okay, so that's all chopped up. Put it in a freezer bag, okay, and freeze it. But come back to it a couple times before it's frozen. You got to shake it up because they do like to stick together. So bang it on the counter or something, shake them up, get them broken apart. Do that twice maybe until they're frozen, and they're going to last in there. Don't put them in the fridge. They get real melty and stick to your fingers, and they go bad quick. So put them in the freezer like that. And there you go. That's 4 ounces. They're pellet sized. They've got the shotgun medicine effect, so it's going to cure pretty much anything that they have. The other fish can eat it. It's not going to hurt them. It's a very small amount. And you see there he's got hole in the head. There's so many things that can cause hole in the head. Starvation, bacteria, flukes, worms, you're never going to know. Treat them like this, it'll work. And as you see, they're eating it. I hope this helps. It's really easy to make. And you can make this food and not put medicine in it. So that's it. You see here the Dempsey's got that hole in the head, but he's still eating it. So I do expect him to get better. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.